Class 10th, English Language and Literature, Poem 5th, The Ball Poem, which is written by John Merriman. Before starting the poem, first of all, we will take introduction to the poem. The poet John Berryman, through his poem, The Ball Poem, has described the reality of life, which everyone has to face one day. He has touched the topic of how to stand up against the miseries and sorrows of life. So this was a little introduction to the poem, A Ball Poem. Now let's see the poem stanza wise, word by word. I request you all to keep pencil and eraser to note down hard words and their meanings. So here is the stanza number 1. What is the boy now who has lost his ball? What is he to do? I saw it go merrily bouncing down the street, and then merrily over there it is in the water. Underline the hard word merrily, merrily, merrily. It means cheerful. Another word, bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. So in stanza number 1, the poet is speaking about a young boy who loses his ball. Usually losing a ball should not be a big issue. The ball is not a very important thing, it is a common thing. If we lose at the time, it should not be a big matter. Young boys usually lose their toys and balls quite often. The children, they often lose, they often miss their things. The ball is seen merrily bouncing down the street. So that ball which was with the boy was bouncing and bouncing down to the street, and ultimately the ball falls down into the water, and that ball lost forever. The boy stood there sadly watching the ball go, but he was helpless. Being a kid, being a child, that boy was very helpless when the ball was rolling down towards the water. Just the boy became sad, he became depressed, he was totally helpless, just he was looking at the ball. Nor could he do anything to get the ball back. The ball here symbolizes the innocent childhood of the boy. So here the ball is symbolized with the child's childhood, or with the boy's childhood, which has slipped away and he wants it back. So the childhood of the boy is lost. If we finish childhood, or we cannot revert to the time which is over, but the time which is over in the poem, that is the childhood, the boy is missing it too much and he want to go in childhood, he want to get it back, but it is impossible thing. The second paragraph, second stanza of the poem. No use to say, oh, there are other balls. An ultimate shaking grief fixes the boy as he stands rigid, trembling, staring down all his young days into harbor where his ball went. I would not intrude on him a dime. Another ball is worthless. Now he senses first responsibility. Underline the hard words and note down their meaning. First word, grief. 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 What does it mean? Grief means sorrow. SORROW, sorrow. Next word, rigid. RIGID, rigid means fixed. Another word, trembling. TREMBLING, trembling means shaking. Harbor. HARBOUR, harbor. It means dock. DOCK, dock. Another word, intrude. INTRUDE, intrude. It means invader. Next, DIME, dime. It means 10 cents. Currency, like 10 rupees. Next word, worthless. WORTHLESS. So here dime, 10 cents is the US currency. Worthless, valueless or useless. In stanza number 2, the poet says that it is of no use to remind him that it was not a big loss. He can get more balls and continue his game. But for the boy, the loss of the ball is a great loss. There may be other balls and perhaps he can hope to get any one of them. However, the ball that he has lost can't be retrieved. It has fallen into the deep water of the harbor. The boy is very inconsolable. He loses hope in himself and becomes depressed and helpless after losing the ball. He stands still. He was trembling and looking at the point where his ball has gone down into the harbor. Here, the lost ball stands for the lost childhood, and the harbor stands for the vastness of the life. It will not serve any purpose to remind him that the ball costs just a dime and is worth nothing. Another stanza. In a world of possessions, people will take balls. Balls will be lost always, little boy. And no one buys a ball back. Money is external. He is learning well behind his desperate eyes the epistemology of loss, how to stand up knowing what every man must one day know, and most know many days how to stand up. Underline the difficult words and note down their meanings. Possessions, POSSESSIONS, possessions. It means ownership. Next word, external. EXTERNAL, external. Here, things with which feelings are not attached. Desperate, 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 it means hopeless. Last word, epistemology, EPISTEMOLOGY. It is a Greek word. The base word is episteme, which means knowledge. So in this stanza, the poet is telling that here there comes a change in the mood and thinking of the boy. He realizes that in this world the loss is a part of the game. He must take such losses in life Achievements will follow losses in life, and a thing that is lost one can't be retrieved or brought back. Money can't buy the lost childhood, the lost dreams, and the lost feelings back. Money is external to such losses. The poet gives a message of hope and encouragement here also. Ultimately, he comes out of his depression and hopefulness. He has to learn how he should stand up to bear the loss. The theme of the poem is that life is precious and should not be wasted, as we usually do over the little thing. Life has to be lived, and life can be lived purposefully and fruitfully. If you are a living being, at the time you must have a purpose, and your life must be fruitful. And when it may become fruitful, when you have purpose, at that time it can be fruitful. And life can be lived purposefully and fruitfully only when we stand up and come out of depression. So, from this poem, we learn that it is the business of the life to come and go, to get benefit and loss, to lose something and to get something. We should not attach to those things. We must learn the new things, the new experience from our suffering, from our loss, and we must stand up and come out of depression. So this was all about the poem, the ball poem. Thank you for your kind listening.